feature presentation.
Hey everybody, this is Come&PartywithNick now here for the 7th summon of my birthday special and the final multiplayer one. And this time we're going to be doing some Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Nintendo Switch. So let's go ahead and have some fun with this. And I've got Daniel and Dominic, the two video game fans, here with me.
Hello everybody.
Hello!
And of course I also am doing this with my real life friend Grant.
Hello.
So yeah, let's go ahead and do this. As always, it should be a lot of fun.
Yep.
Yeah, anytime I just get around to Smash, I always really do enjoy playing this kind of game for how much this really means a lot to me.
Nice, that's definitely good to hear. But yeah, I definitely do still think this game is very fun to play, even 8 years later. I know, obviously, I know some people would still say they prefer Melee, but honestly, this game just barely surpasses it for me, just purely because of the amount of characters you can play as.
Yeah. Smash is probably one of the best Nintendo series ever. I do like Smash. It's really fun to say the least, too. It's really fun.
Yeah, definitely for sure, without a doubt. Smash Bros. Has been my favorite series to play right here over the years, especially with how they put this one, where they literally went all out with the content right here, especially with the characters.
Yeah, it definitely does maybe want to do for like a future, Smash entry, though, if there even is one, because like I said, with this being based game having been pitched as like the ultimate game, I kind of feel they almost like had to go in a different direction for it.
Yeah, there will definitely be the next one, but we'll see what they do.
I can't quite remember exactly of how long I've been into the Smash Bros. Series 4, but I can at least remember for sure that Brawl was my first one.
My first one actually was Melee.
The first one I owned was Smash Wii U.
The first one that I owned,
even though I had a Wii.
Yeah, the first one that I played and owned was Brawl myself, and maybe it was because of Sonic being in there. I've been a Smash fan ever since.
That's interesting. But yeah, funny enough, even though, like I said, Smash Melee was my first Smash game, Smash Brawl actually, I think, was actually the very first video game that I remember buying, like, when it was, like, literally brand new, like, the day it came out.
Yeah, that's such a good story right here for what you do remember out of it yourself, Nick. But basically, after Brawl was my first Smash game, then got the original Smash for my second one. Basically, that was on my birthday in 2013 when I did get it. And then the next one after that would be the Wii U version, which I got in Christmas 2014. And then came the 3DS version, which I do believe I ended up getting that in Christmas 2015. Then came Ultimate, which I got in Christmas 2018, the same day when I got my original Switch. And basically, the last one of those I did get was Melee, which was on my birthday in 2019. I've had all the Smash Bros. Ever since then.
Nice, that's actually really cool. But yeah, the funny thing is that, because obviously, as some people might know, Smash was delayed at least like 3 times or whatever, Smash Brawl I'm talking about. Like when I actually pre-ordered the game, it actually was when it was finally coming out on March 9th, so I literally had no idea the game was actually delayed that many times until like I found out about it on the internet like several years later, and I was like, wow, that's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah, I believe it was because of Sonic, right?
I think so, yeah.
say right here, I have heard that the reason Raw was delayed several times was because of them putting in Sonic.
Yep.
At least it's not as bad as, you know, like GTA 6, where that game has gotten numerous.
Oh yeah.
A lot of stuff has happened before GTA 6. It's practically a meme at this point.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's why, you know, well, that's why the whole, you know, we got this before GTA 6 thing exists.
Yep, pretty much.
Hopefully November is when it actually comes out, though, but, you know, with that...
Yeah, they seem hell-bent on that date, which is good.
Yep. I was gonna say, though, you know, even though, like I said, even though you're right about that, considering the amount of times, you know, it has been delayed, you know, we still gotta be a little bit cautious, but hopefully this time it is for real.
Yeah. So far it seems to be, but you never know, I guess, at this point.
Yep. And no, for anyone wondering, I will not be showing any GTA 6 on YouTube, just because, like I said, there's a lot of things about GTA that even for as much as I love the series, just doesn't fit quite well with my channel.
Yeah, there's a lot of cussing among other things.
Yep.
Yep. Especially while I know right here about the Grand Theft Auto games, they're rated M for mature.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are very adult, yeah, for sure.
Yep, and I definitely, I'll put it this way, I definitely would not allow, you know, if I ever had kids, I definitely would not allow my kid to touch GTA for a while, but even,
yeah, for
they are really great games.
Yeah. I would like let them play like Mario, Sonic, or you know, or maybe like edutainment games or something.
Yeah.
I do know I actually have Grand Theft Auto 5 for the PlayStation 3, but it was basically for one of my brothers out here that did play. But that kind of game is just not really all that suitable for me.
That's fair. Everybody's definitely got their own preferences. And like I said, and honestly, you know, I think a lot of people in my community probably would be shocked about just how much I love GTA, and even just the fact that, you know, I have said several times now that GTA 4 probably is like one of, if not my favorite game of all time.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, with Ramon being absent, I kind of suspect that Dominic's probably going to win most of these matches, but you never know what can happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Rant almost beat me earlier, so you never know.
That is true, yeah, I did come close, and then I kind of fell asleep in the last stock, but yeah, I still did pretty good, I think.
Yeah, to be fair, you are a pretty good Smash player in your own right, Grant.
Okay.
And because a lot of people go around saying that when they go against Sonic, man, they tend to fall asleep, so I can't really blame Grant with her. So.
Yeah, I mean, Sonic is so interesting in Smash Brothers, Smash Ultimate in particular, because it's like, he's a character who can, like, really time out, like, the match to win. And it's, like, an actual viable strategy, and I kind of hate that about Sonic in this game, but it is what it is, I suppose. Yeah.
It's one of those things where even for as much as I love Sonic, I just hate him in some matches because I really don't think he's that great of a character, like in terms of just even like fighting wise, and you know, just in general, there's just so many ways to just kind of like you know, make a cheap ass match with him.
You know, I blame people for liking Sonic and Smash, but for me, I love people. I mean, I make Sonic a video game players ever, and you know, sure, his moveset could be better, but you know, I can see it weaker than he was in Smash 4, I guess, but you know, I don't care. I mean, it's Sonic, and you know, and it's been that way since the Brawl days, so you know, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
While some games out,
the next game he gets a rework, but yeah, if he does come back, it should probably roll, but yeah.
while some games out there that are rated M are not all that suitable for me, there are at least a few of them out here that I care about a little bit right here that I can't remember, like the Call of Duty games. I do have a few of them for the PlayStation 3 that one of my brothers was into. Like, definitely for sure, from what I can recall, the one Call of Duty game that one of my brothers was into a lot was Black Ops 2, and there were some occasions out here where I actually did play that with him, and I didn't mind it for how it is. And I think the same thing does go for GoldenEye 007 for what I do have on Wii. The moment I got it right here, the Wi-Fi was shut down on it, so I kind of wish I bought it before that happened, because I still had a great online play from what I have watched out of it. But the moment I bought it after the Wi-Fi was shut down, I only bought for the multiplayer experience, and it's rare that I get around to playing GoldenEye 007 these days after I did get it. But if there's anybody out there that I'm right beside with that does want to play a shooter game, then that I will give GoldenEye 007 some credit right here on those times when I do get around to playing it.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did actually play some Call of Duty, growing up, too, mainly some of the older ones, like, like the first two Modern Warfare games, and I definitely do think, at least the classic Call of Duty games are pretty fun for sure. I'm not really so much a fan of the newer ones, though, especially because it does kind of feel like they're just basically copying and pasting the same thing every year.
Yeah. I actually play a lot of M-rated games.
Well, I have played quite a bit of M-rated games myself. Not really into Call of Duty, but I have played some. But I have played some games. Call of Duty. I did obviously the Persona games are rated M for mature. I'm really into those. I'm slightly kind of into GTA, but not really too into it too much. So yeah, first off, GG's on that, and then secondly, not everybody is going to be into it for mature. It's just some of the content that are in those rated for mature games. Some people they can't handle it, whether it be the blood or other things. Just not everyone can be into that, and that's fine.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like I said, overall for me, it just kind of depends. Obviously, I've said before in general that I like pretty much all kinds of games, but there still definitely are at least some M-rated games out there that I can't really say that I can't really stomach them because in all honesty, I can pretty much tolerate almost anything. There's still games I can't nonetheless really get into that much.
But yeah, before I forget right here, I am glad to be a part of this special right here in honor of Nick's birthday, and basically for the day that this is being recorded. How did your birthday turn out this year overall, Nick?
That turned out pretty good. We just we added a little bit, and obviously I got a video uploaded, and just in general it was really nice. It was a nice birthday for sure, and obviously it does feel pretty interesting to be 26 now.
That's great. I'm very glad that you really did enjoy yourself.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Next week, honestly.
I know.
I can't believe it. I keep forgetting my birthday next week. That's the joy of being an adult, I guess.
Yeah, honestly, for the most part, I don't even really think about my birthday very much anymore myself these days, just because I don't know. I kind of feel like once you get past a certain age, your birthday starts to kind of feel a little bit less special, just because obviously it gets to the point where it's like, oh, great, I'm 1 year closer to death. But regardless, though, it is still always nice to do fun things for your birthday. Oh, and I think somebody accidentally pressed A when they we're talking to character.
Hang on. I'll let it time out for a bit.
All right.
Oh, okay. We're locked in.
All right, let's do
At
this.
least Gino got back in line, so he might not be able to spectate this one, but it's okay.
All right.
3, 2, 1, go!
But yeah, regardless, though, you know, like I said, I definitely can't believe you're gonna be 25 either, man. Especially because, you know, especially because, you know, my earliest memory of you was, you know, was when you were like maybe like 13.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like, yeah, when it's my birthday, I don't really care when it's my birthday, if I'm being honest with myself, because, you know, it's just a typical day for me, you know, I mean, it's my birthday, what do you do? I mean, you know, some stuff I do get for my birthday, but, you know, it's just one of those things where, you know, where the more you get older, the less you care about your birthday.
Yeah, pretty much. And I know, especially now that you're 30, that, you know, that I'm sure that feeling's probably gonna feel especially prevalent, you know, the older you get.
Yeah, because I am 30 years old, so.
Yeah, because there's nothing really special about like turning 34, for example.
To this day, we still care about my birthday right here with how much I really love it right here. It always makes it one of my special days that I do enjoy.
Well,
I especially like to celebrate that with as much great people that I care about as possible, and with all the great stuff right here that I do enjoy on my birthday each year. It comes to show how much I really care for it.
that's cool. And yeah, like I said, I'm not saying that's like a universal rule or anything like that, you know, because obviously everybody's different. It's just, you know, in general, like I said, you know, for most people, you know, the birthday is just one of those things where it's like, yeah, you know, it's fun when you're a kid and even like a young adult, but then like after a certain point, you know, you kind of just treat it more like a normal day.
Yeah, one thing I will say is on my birthday when I'm in California, I will be going to a water park.
Oh, nice. I hope you have fun, man.
Good. Yeah, those are fun.
The one in Knott's Berry Farm, Soap City, it's called.
Oh, nice. I've actually been there before. It is a lot of fun.
Nice.
I really love going to water parks. At any time I do have the chance to experience that. At any time when I go to a water park, I always look forward to trying out different kinds of water slides that I am into. But the kinds of water slides that I'm not going to bother giving a chance on anymore these days, ever since several years ago, are the ones that like drop straight down when you're so high up. Because basically, while I was on one,
oh jeez, I made a crucial mistake there. GG.
GG.
But basically, while I was on one of those tall water slides that go straight down, right here that one time, I went down on it on an improper way, and I heard that basically after I went down to the bottom, I heard that there was a risk that I could have gotten myself killed. So afterwards, I literally think to myself right here that the best thing to do is for me to not take another chance on those water slides ever again.
That's definitely fair.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I guess I figured, yeah, you know, since we got Final Fantasy VII integrated lately, I thought, hey, why not play as Cloud?
I love Cloud.
Luckily, I don't think I've ever quite made that mistake, but there definitely was a time when I was younger when I was kind of like too short to run most of the bigger slides. I didn't really get to enjoy them until I was like 13 or 14.
But getting back to the subject right here of shooter games, while I do say that Call of Duty and GoldenEye 007 are nice games for what I have played out of them, they're nowhere near as good compared to a different kind of shooter game that I'm into, which is Splatoon.
I mean, I don't really think you can compare those too much, to be honest with you, but I do see your point, though. You know, Splatoon, I definitely do think, you know, it's definitely a much more unique kind of game for sure than that GoldenEye or COD.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that, because it's got a very nice concept right here for how it works, where you basically shoot out aim from your weapon to try to cover as much turnaround area as possible, and for how it works right here, I've really been into that for quite a long time. remember this around the very beginning when that series did first start, and I'll definitely cherish this kind of moment forever during the original Splatoon, where I was able to get to the maximum level, and that was 50, and that was done a couple days before the online play on that shut down.
Yeah, that was a great moment for sure.
For me, like I like shooters. I tend to prefer single player ones like Halo and Doom.
And speaking,
I don't play COD. I don't play like Call of Duty. I play Halo for the single player. I never touch the multiplayer of those games. I'm not good enough. And Doom, it's like Doom is just a single player franchise. The multiplayer of the modern Dooms just don't exist to me.
Yeah, it's really the same way with single player first person shooters. Not really into that. I mean, you know, GG's, you know, but you know, yeah. That's just I just never. I mean, it's hard to say. First person shooters are bad. You know, they're not far from it, in fact, but you know, there's the genre that I'm not really into of games. If I'm being honest here.
That's fair. I do kind of like Halo. You know, I wouldn't say it's like one of my favorite franchises or anything, but you know, I do remember playing through you know, some of Halo 3 and really enjoying that. So you know, I definitely do think, you know, Halo's pretty cool. I do like the story of the games for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of that.
Speaking of Splatoon, I'm very excited about the new game in this series that they are releasing soon, which is Splatoon Raiders.
Yeah, that's
not really. Not really just Splatoon either. But I do expect it as a series. You know, it does seem kind of cool, but it's not. It's not that I'm really into though. But I do expect the series now.
Yeah, for sure. It doesn't really seem like my kind of game, but I can also really see why, you know, others would really enjoy it for sure. Like I said, it definitely does kind of seem like, you know, seem like a very, very cool, you know, honestly, probably one of the more Nintendo's, I guess you could say, creative things they've done in recent years. And you know, I know, you know, shout out to Scott the Waz, and I know he even mentioned that in like one of his Wii U videos. You know, the fact that, you know, Splatoon, you know, definitely does have a lot of creativity behind it.
Yeah, it is like I don't play much Splatoon. I did play a lot of Splatoon 2. Splatoon 3 though, I didn't stick with it because it's, you know, like it's Splatoon 3. But you know, it's like I'm probably not gonna get Raiders, or at least not yet. But you know, I do respect, like, you know, the amount of creativity and the heavy lore that, like, you know, Splatoon has. It is like a very. I'm glad Nintendo has had like an actual success that carried over from the Wii U era.
For sure.
Yeah, and one thing I will say is I do respect the dev team of Splatoon for sticking to their guns and not having like much in the way of Nintendo crossover stuff. And like, cause you know, I remember Scott mentioned this in that video as well. I think it was like Wii U Part 3, where he was like, yeah, they could have easily added like a flood type weapon from Mario Sunshine 2 to Splatoon, but they didn't because they wanted to keep it like pure, like they wanted to keep the lore like to itself, and I do respect that.
Oh yeah, same here. That definitely was awesome of them to do.
Yeah. Especially since, like, you know, the fighting game genre are, like, you know, prime games to have guest characters that may or may not be canon, depending on how you look at it.
Yep.
And there's a good story right here that I can really remember from several years ago that I do want to share. There was basically this time out here when several Toys R Us stores were shutting down, and they were offering really big sales on a whole lot of different items in there. And I was able to get this kind of thing that they were offering at a very good deal, which is a Splatoon splatter shotgun based off of the Splatoon series. And it literally works like how it is from the game, where you can fill up ink and then shoot right out of the gun right here, which I do say is very, very cool. And the moment out here before the Toys R Us stores were shutting down, at the moment when I picked it up at a very good deal, I certainly am very, very proud of it. But right now, I just can't use it right here because I don't have any ink to fill that up. So basically, I want to try to see if I can possibly get some ink refills for it at some point so I can use it again. But either way, though, it's a nice kind of item that I was able to get.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely sounds like it.
Yeah.
I missed badly there. Oh well.
Yeah, going back to like the topic about M-rated games, like I do like a lot of M-rated stuff. Like two of my favorite gaming franchises are Devil May Cry and Bayonetta, character action franchises that are very much M-rated.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also like Metal Gear. Like probably one of the more like whatchamacallit. Probably like Metal Gear is like probably one of the more like tame M-rated franchises. But you know, it is still M-rated for the most part. One of my favorite Final Fantasies is the M-rated FF16, which wears it on its sleeve, honestly. But yeah, I do enjoy an M-rated game. I can handle a lot of stuff compared to most, but you know, it just boils down to taste and how much graphic content you can handle in some of this stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
And I also do like GTA. I don't know if I'm gonna get GTA 6 right away, but I do like GTA.
For sure. Yeah, definitely for sure. You know, especially depending on like how the online goes. Obviously, like I said, not on YouTube, but definitely like in private and of course online. You know, just like in private settings, I might do some GTA 6 online stuff with you whenever you eventually get it.
Yeah, for sure. And I'd probably have to renew my PS Plus subscription, but yeah, I can definitely do that.
Yep. Yeah, I actually have to do that too. But luckily, now that I have a full-time job, that should be pretty easy.
Yeah.
I mean, still GG's on the match.
Yeah, GG's.
Oh, it's kind of interesting that you're using the previous character that I used here in the Smash Grant.
Yep, good old Terry.
I do know for a fact I'm one of those kinds of guys out here that knew who Terry was at the moment where he was first introduced. Because I do remember right here back when he was first announced, a lot of people didn't know who he was. But how I knew about him was because of the fact that I played the game where he is from, which is Fatal Fury. And I have played the first and second Fatal Fury games for the Neo Geo that I have downloaded on my Wii Virtual Console.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I knew what SNK was when Terry was announced, but I didn't know enough about them to where I knew who Terry was at the time, and now I love this guy.
Funny enough, I think the only thing I knew about the Neo Geo for many years, at least up until like maybe a few years ago, was just was just the very few things about it I saw from the AVGN and those freaking godly huge cartridges.
Yeah. But now I know it's like basically an arcade board that became a game console.
Yeah, pretty much.
Very much one that has like arcade quality games, which at the time was very cool.
The actual Neo Geo system, I don't really know too much about, which is why I first heard about those games when they were being offered back in the day on the Wii Virtual Console. And I do say I got a really good lineup of those games that I do enjoy.
That's nice. But yeah. In general, the Neo Geo definitely did seem like a pretty cool thing for the time.
Yeah, I'm also glad Terry ended up in Street Fighter 6. He's kind of my main in that game as well.
Ooh, I wonder if Theo might be joining us. I just saw that he went online in this game.
Ooh, hopefully.
Yeah, since you...
I'm not even sure if I have Theo in my friends list.
Well, if you don't, then we can quickly add him.
Yep. I noticed right here that he actually sent a message right here if we were recording and if there's room for a spot. hi to him. Alright, and that's why I did see that he did join on in, and I think he's here now.
Yep, I was just about to say that. Hey, welcome in, Theo. How are you doing?
Hello.
Hello, how's everyone doing? I hope I'm not too loud on my mic.
Nope, you're okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Theo.
Now, like we were just mentioning, I'm not sure if Dominic has you as a friend on the Switch, so we might have to add you really quick on there, but that shouldn't be much of a problem, I don't think. So with that in mind, we'll go ahead and do this match, and then afterwards, I'll probably maybe like spectate for a moment.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I know I got my Switch 2 at launch myself. Not that I'm bragging about it, of course, but you know, so it makes me kind of glad I bought one at launch. Because again, price increases, but you know, I didn't necessarily need to get it right away at launch, but I did anyways. I guess probably for the sake of doing it, maybe. So I think that was like the first ever console that I bought. That wherever I got it, like literally on launch day.
That's nice. Yeah, normally like if these were normal times we were living in, I probably would have gotten the Switch 2. Probably not until like maybe even like this Christmas. But with the way the economy is now, as well as just the fact that, like I said, you know, I was just going through a part of my life at the time where I knew I wasn't going to be able to afford it otherwise for a while. That's why I jumped on it right away, because like I said, I just knew that, you know, it was going to get to a point where it was going to get really hard to find one.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I got mine like a month later. Well, that and also got Come&Bonanza, but yeah, price was also a big factor for wanting to get it as soon as I did.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, that's definitely normally not like me at all. I definitely normally the type of person that likes to wait to get a new console for a while, but in this case, like I said, just the way the things are, definitely changed my calculation in that regard.
And for me, I had my Switch 2 since last Christmas, and I am very thankful to have mine right here. Otherwise, like we said, it would be tougher to try to get your hands on one by the time the prices for that do go up.
Exactly.
There was also a Nintendo Direct to those who are unaware. You know, who are watching this, of course. I don't really think the Direct was as bad as people says it is. I mean, yeah, it could have been better. Of course, I'm not gonna spoil what was announced for the sake of spoiler reasons, but all I'm really gonna say is I didn't think it was that bad. But I mean, again, I still think it could have been better.
I have some interesting thoughts about the Direct myself, but I'll save most of those for when I do my next podcast video.
Yeah, I will.
Thoughts in the sense that like most of the stuff was actually kind of for me, given my taste, so I did end up kind of liking it. Like, I think there was definitely like parts that I wasn't as fond of in that Direct. Like, I don't think the thumb war part of Sports Resort was necessary. That was kind of dumb. But other than that, it's like, yeah, I kind of came away mostly satisfied. I mean, I got like an HD3D final. Actually, no, I probably shouldn't spoil it. We somehow haven't watched it yet, so I won't say.
That's why I said I'm not gonna spoil it.
Well, lucky for you,
I
Grant.
got a lot of neat stuff. That's all I'll say.
Lucky for you, Grant. I probably won't be uploading this video for at least like a week or so, anyway. So you should hopefully be fine.
Yeah.
I won't go into.
Shut off.
Hey, Armand.
He's in the
Hey.
Yeah, hey there, Armand. So great to see you once again.
I'm actually
Same.
I'm actually impressed about the turnout I've gotten for this video. You know, I have 5 other people here, and I don't usually have that for a Smash video, so it's actually kind of really cool.
It's not letting me spectate for some reason.
Oh, that's odd.
Well, if you're talking about where you're spectating right now, that's because with this being one-on-one matches, you'll be playing basically when it's your turn because of the way I have the room set up.
No, I mean that I can't spectate because it keeps on erroring.
Oh, sorry.
That
That's weird.
Yeah, I have no idea why this is happening to you, Theo, but it's weird.
Yeah,
is a bit strange.
That is strange. Hopefully,
I mean, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, hopefully that'll resolve itself pretty soon.
I would have understood if it was like Kill's internet because, like, you know, wow, it's usually well known that Kill doesn't really have the best of internet connections. But I guess it depends if your internet connection is good or not.
Well, it might also just be a thing too, where where the game could be theoretically just be glitching out. That's always a possibility too.
Or keeping Nintendo's Turbo Online, that could also be a factor because, for the expansion pack, users, $50 a year, I almost said a month, but $50 a year, yeah, so, like, of course, I'm gonna try the best I can, so I'm not complain about the online, too much in this video, simply because I complained about it quite a bit in the past. But all I'm really gonna say is that, for quality of the Nintendo's online, all I'm really gonna say in that regard is that hopefully one of these days Nintendo can give out better online. Hopefully their next console or something.
Yeah, or at the very least, the next Smash game just has better netcode.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, that too.
Like, actually give us rollback in the next one, please, and thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, it is still just a shame though, just frankly, just how lackluster Nintendo's online is, considering they're charging us like a full $50 if you want all the benefits now. Like I said, it was one thing when it was just $20, even then it still wasn't the best, but it was one thing back then because you could at least say, well, it's still cheap, but unfortunately they don't really have that excuse anymore.
Oh my god, why did I do that? Well, I guess technically you do have a choice. If you want just the base subscription, you can do $20, while the expansion pack you can do $50. But even still, but even still, I can definitely still see Nick's point. Like even back at the time when it was just $20 a year, I was still complaining about it. Yeah, sure, it was cheap. But the thing of it is, when you're paying for an online service, you are expecting quality of the service. It's basically kind of why Microsoft and Sony's of online. It's kind of why you don't really see a lot of people complain about those services, or at least in terms of online-wise, because they at least function, or at least most of the time, anyways. While with Nintendo's online, it barely even functions, even when you get the base subscription. So again, I can definitely understand why, I can definitely see why a lot of people, myself included, don't really like Nintendo's online. But if it's an excuse for us to play online with our friends online and stuff like that, then so be it. I guess we have to put up with it, I guess. But I still wish the online could be better.
Yeah, believe me, I think a lot of us do, Dominic.
It may not really be perfect right here in terms of the quality right here on some occasions, but the useful features for what we got out of the service still make it worth it for what we do have to pay for.
I'd say it's just more so something I just kind of put up with, seeing as how, I love Nintendo games so much, and obviously want to be able to play with you awesome guys.
If it's one good thing that comes out of this online service, is that you do get some benefits here and there, but especially when you're an expansion pack user, not only do you get the base benefits, where you get NES, SNES games, original Game Boy, stuff like that. GGs. You'll be able to get Game Boy Advance games, Nintendo 64 games, GameCube games, stuff like that. And there's just some games out there that I think are really nice additions. Like for example, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. I mean, yeah, yes, I know a lot of people. I mean, yes, I know. I'm like pretty much like the only one of the okay, maybe not the only, but one of the probably few Fire Emblem fans like on this call. Like the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying is because for a physical copy, don't do what I did, by the way. Basically with the physical copies nowadays, they go like $300. Well, at least at the time when I last checked, it's probably cheaper now since it's on NSO now. But back at the time when I last checked, the copies were like $300. Mine was also $300, but it was without the game case. It came in a generic case, and and of course with the disc, of course. But now with NSO, people don't have to buy actual physical copies. To play it now they can play it on the Switch 2. On the Switch 2, this is exclusive to Switch 2 expansion pack members, of course. But you get to play that kind of game if you have a Switch 2 and an NSO Plus expansion pack membership. So for $50 for a year to play that kind of game, it's actually kind of cool because you don't have to waste money on a physical copy. But I don't know, that's just what I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Isn't this the second match in a row where it selected Battlefield randomly?
It might be.
Probably.
Well, I do know I've had some sessions here and there when I was playing this kind of game with Video Game Fan 99, along with Sonic Stone 182 Fan 3, where sometimes we'll get a map, and then the next map later we get the same map.
Yeah, it is weird like that, but that's just how random.
I am aware of. It's kind of interesting, that those kinds of moments do happen like that sometimes.
Yeah, but that's also just kind of how random works. You get certain status like a certain frequency.
And even then, even then, ever since the Smash 4 days, I've been into random Omega stages with the Smash Ball only. Because with Omega stages, you don't have to worry about stage hazards. GG's by the way.
GG.
You don't have to worry about stage hazards or anything like that. You just focus on the fight, and then of course randomly, the Smash Ball will appear. I set it to high, but that's just how I like to play Smash nowadays because it's mostly skill. It's mostly skill, but the Smash Ball it's somewhat luck too. So it's kind of the best in both worlds.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, I think it's the third match now.
I tell you what, RNG is sometimes really weird.
Yep. And yeah, speaking of Battlefield, I'm pretty sure this is now the third time.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right about that for what I was paying careful attention on.
And yeah, like I said, I think the next match I probably, well, obviously I won't be in it anyway, but I probably will just go to the bench a little bit, give a couple other people here a chance to fight a little bit.
But time that wrong. Okay, I don't know how to get me from that far away, but okay.
And somehow a connection error happened for me on my end.
Ooh, I don't know why that keeps happening to random people. Yeah, it might be something on Nintendo's end, and then since, you know, it happened to me, and then it also just happened to you. Yeah, I think
Well, I
Grant's...
do know that. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, I think Grant's streak is probably about to come to an end here, it looks like.
Probably.
Well, I do know that Joker is actually one of my mains, unlike Sephiroth. I think like even before he got into the Persona series, I did the Joker's moveset. But ever since I played Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal, just basically finalized it that I was gonna make Joker as definitely one of my big time mains.
Dominic, I also will say, and I'm not sure if, you know, it might just be me hearing this, of course, but I have been kind of curious, at least while recording this video, if your mic's okay, because it does kind of seem a little bit, I don't know, tinny, for lack of a better word.
That might be because I have like the phone like in my stomach or something. I mean, maybe I can like end the call and re-go back in or something.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
And the only reason why I know is because the chair I'm sitting in, arms, GG's by the way, the arms that are on the chair, they're like too small. I think they're too small for me to put the phone aside, so that's why. I'll try to get out and go back.
Alright, now it's Armand's turn to fight here. Anyway, like I said, really quick, I'm going to go ahead and go to the bench really quick. Here, Armand.
GG.
Yeah, GG. Yep, like you said earlier, now that Armand's here, it's my our bus to get kicked.
Yeah, no way I was gonna. Yes, but I can definitely see how good of a player he is on Smash.
Yeah, for sure. But like I said, you know, I play Smash for fun anyway, so even if I lose every match that happened in this video, I literally don't care.
Yeah.
I don't really care if I win or lose either, you know. I mean, I do the best I can to have fun, regardless if it's Smash or Mario Kart or whatever. I usually don't care about winning. I just try to, you know, care about having fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But all that should matter anyway, because, you know, like I said, you know, when we're playing games with, you know, with friends and stuff, you know, it's always just nice to have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I certainly always feel that way right here when I kinds of things with other people.
See, I'm looking at the time right now. I'm thinking I'll try to go to at least 3:45, so that should give us at least time for like three or four more matches. Okay, Theo might be cooking something.
Yeah, I'll admit, I mean, I know we're doing this casually, so I know it doesn't really matter, but I think a lot of people would probably say, you know, that a Robin and, you know, a Zelda matchup isn't really the best. You know, I would probably agree with them because, you know, Robin's main moveset is mostly about projectiles, so Zelda can pretty easily, you know, reflect them. But of course, you know, of course, that's not to say it's, you know, bad, you know, of course, everyone can play whatever they want to, but yeah, I think a lot of people would probably agree that, you know, Robin and Zelda matchup isn't really the best. I don't know, that's what I would assume.
I don't know, maybe. Also, I hate to sound like Gracie and Steve here, but it's projectiles, Dominic.
Sorry, what?
I said I hate to sound like Gracie and Steve here, but it's projectiles, not projectiles, or however you were saying it. Just thought I'd point that out.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I can't complain because I say stuff wrong all the time. Just like how I can't say compilation right either. So.
Yeah,
English
I've
language is an
been
interesting language. Let's just say that.
here for what I can remember. Believe me, some words may not really be easy to pronounce right away in the first place. It just takes practice to get some.
Well, I got at least one Sark on Armon, so I'm proud.
Yeah, GG, dude. Honestly, I thought you did pretty good, honestly.
But yeah, I do agree. The English language is kind of interesting, you know. But I don't know. Like, I guess if it's like a very long word, you know, like Link's bow and arrow. See, words like that, long words. I am usually not the best at, you know, saying probably, let alone spelling. So you know. I guess it's just how I think it's been that way. Like even back in the days when I was in school, like you know, like I would still try to say the word, but then for some reason my mouth can't and my throat can't say it. I don't know, but it's fine.
Yeah. Well, look, you know, I'm not the best at pronouncing things either. You know, real offer quirks is just, you know, sometimes, you know. If you notice some of that, it doesn't hurt just to kind of help out that way. You know, like I said, I don't think there's a huge difference between, like, you know, just kind of like gently nudging somebody about a correction versus, like, you know, like actually like actively being rude about it.
Well, yeah, don't worry, you weren't being rude about it. I kind of figured I was saying it wrong anyways, so you're good.
Yep.
And speaking of words that we might not pronounce right away, there's this one I've actually learned about where I have had trouble saying.
Why is that the way it is?
It's OP, please nerf.
This one word that I recently started to get to know about right here was something that I had troubles with while I remember. It was basically in terms of the cause of the death of NASCAR driver Kyle Busch that happened recently, where he apparently died to a severe illness. I think it was Sapphirus, I think that's how you pronounce it. But that's the kind of word that I do have troubles with. But yeah, if any of you all haven't seen the news, I was very sad that NASCAR driver Kyle Busch recently passed away.
I have no idea what happened there.
That was crazy.
No, I checked the spike because I hit the stage, so I wasn't able to check it.
So yeah, if any of you guys haven't seen the news yet, it was very sad that NASCAR driver Kyle Busch passed away pretty recently, because he was really talented race car driver from what I saw out of him over the years in NASCAR, because he was the most winningest driver in the sport across all three of the NASCAR.
I got Armand down to Woodstock. I take this.
Yeah, GG, that was amazing, Grant.
Look, you know, I don't really care about NASCAR all that much. But yeah, still rest in peace to Kyle Busch. Is rest in peace. I'm all the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, I think after this match, I'll go in and go back into the arena, and then, like I said, we'll probably do like one or two more matches after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Besides, I'm probably gonna win a butt kick anyway, so it's all good.
Oh, hey Slayer, how are you doing?
Hi, Slayer.
Hello.
Oh, Slayer, welcome on in.
Hey Daniel, what's good, man?
Yeah, I'm doing well.
Oh, yep. So yeah, like I said, we're just doing some Smash Ultimate here via NSO.
Oh, hey, that's tight. Any one of y'all streaming on YouTube or something?
No, this is just being recorded.
Nice. On the actual Switch, right?
Yeah, on the actual Switch.
Okay.
Believe me.
Emulator, I enjoyed it so fast.
Yeah, believe me. I was gonna say if it was on emulator, we definitely would not would not be having as many disconnects as we've been having.
Oh, that and plus, I'm pretty sure, it doesn't have the ability to run, to emulate, Switch, on his computer or whatever.
I think I might have. I just don't know how. I just don't know how well it would run. It would run honestly. But I know obviously.
A somewhat beefy machine to get Switch emulation running. I know that.
Yeah, the only person I know for sure that can emulate Switch games pretty well is, at least in my server, is Fang Beaver.
Well, even if I did, even if I did know how to emulate Switch games, even if I didn't know how, I still would risk doing that. Since Switch 1 and Switch 2 games basically is the newest of the market, and I don't want to risk getting caught, doing that. If it's like Game Boy Advance games stuff like that, then I don't really care because Nintendo doesn't sell stuff anymore.
But yeah, with all the great talent that Kyle Busch had in NASCAR before his passing, I don't think there will be anybody that will do as good.
OP, he's nerfed.
It just really sucks that we lost Kyle Busch so soon right here while he was an active Cup Series. Basically, he was racing with Richard Childress Racing by the time he passed away. And ever since then, right here, they needed somebody new to take over.
Oh, damn, double hit. That was good, actually.
And it was actually recently confirmed that Austin Hill is going to be replacing Kyle Busch for the remainder of the year.
So good luck to him, but still, that definitely is sad.
Yeah, no kidding. And basically, not only is Austin Hill going to be replacing Kyle Busch for the remainder of the year, they're going to change one of Richard Childress Racing numbers from the 8 to the 33, because they have stated right here they're temporarily retiring the number 8 until some point in the future when Kyle Busch's son Rexton goes racing in the Cup Series when he does get older.
Okay, I got one kill in, so I'm satisfied. GG's.
GG.
I can only imagine, though, that Rexton is going to do really well as a race car driver in the future, because he already is rising up in the legacy of the Busch family.
Alright, let me go ahead and get back to the arena here. Alright.
I'm gonna watch.
Alright, so you're ready to spectate
Give
now?
myself a break. Yep.
Alright. Well, like I said, there's only going to be maybe 2 more matches anyway, but still, thank you for playing with us at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. That was fun.
Yeah.
I should actually, I should actually change my character too. I just now realize I'm still Roy.
You know what I just realized is Gracie was wanting me to host Mario Party 7 apparently.
Well, maybe we could do that, one day. Not for the special, of course, but, maybe soon.
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright, you ready to do this, Theo?
Yep.
Alright, let's see what happens.
It's so funny. Gracie accidentally tagged me today about Mario Party 7. And I'm like, I don't play. I mean, I know you barely know me right now, Gracie, but I'm not even that much of a Mario Party expert.
Yeah.
Well, I know Gracie is okay. I guess Gracie. I guess what I'm trying to say is I guess personality-wise, Gracie is kind of similar to me. In which case, where we both like to joke around a lot.
Yeah, for sure. But I think it was a legit accident, and I'm like, yeah, it's okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I realize that, because there's a whole lot of different things that Dominic has mentioned to me where he likes to mess around with. And I've been noticing the same kind of thing with Gracie too, at least for some moments. where I basically saw in some of her messages that she's replied back to me, depending on when I do send it, she would say like go to bed, and literally I don't really need to do that because I just feel fine right here these days, even if I do stay up very late.
Well, she's done that to a lot of us too.
Although I kind of like your profile picture, Theo. Okay. When I mean, the picture, I mean, I like that too. But I meant to say your cover art when I hold your profile picture. I kind of like it. I won't lie.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. And yeah, this is actually a pretty even match right now.
Yeah. Sora and Robin, I think are pretty equally matched, kinda. Like I wouldn't main Sora or anything like that, but yeah, like I wouldn't main Sora or anything like that, but you know, Sora can be fun to play sometimes. And that's why, back at the time when Sora was first announced, I did not think Sora was going to come into Smash Ultimate because, you know, we already got Sephiroth, you know,
Plus Disney. Because, you know,
Disney. But yeah, see, I didn't think Sora was going to make it in, because, you know, for one, so we already got Sephiroth, and like what Grant just said, Disney. So, we all know how Disney is when they're protective over their IPs. So, those are the two reasons as to why I didn't think Sora's gonna make it in. But lo and behold, that morning, with that final Smash Ultimate, direct stream thing, also GG's by the way, but lo and behold, Sora got announced.
GG's.
And you know, and like I said, GG's, and you know, I was surprised.
My headphones were falling off my face.
It's like, I was surprised. You know, like I was surprised, but it was a good surprise when Sora got announced.
Yeah.
That I will agree on.
And thankfully, those cloud versions of the things have been rectified thanks to the
highly requested here to basically be in Smash. And so many people literally got their wish true right here. That did happen. And at the same time, it's kind of a 2 Square Enix character in Fighters Pass 2 right here. So, for all the kinds of DLC characters, and Star was definitely a great way to go all out because of how highly requested he was.
Yeah, and I think Sora's definitely a better way to end off this Smash Brothers DLC compared to Bayonetta. I mean, no disrespect towards Bayonetta fans, you know, but because at least with Sora, you know, Sora's pretty easily recognizable. Whether you are a Kingdom Hearts fan or not, you know, a lot of people know about Sora, you know. So, you know, but with Bayonetta, I mean, I don't know how recognizable she was at the time. I don't know how recognizable she was when she came to Smash 4. But I mean, like I don't know, like I didn't think who she was at the time that she was announced. But like, I think my reaction was kind of similar to Terry, where I'm like, oh, who the heck is Bayonetta? I mean, of course, I'm not saying that just because I don't know who this character is doesn't mean they're not popular. But again, I just don't know. I just think Sora's better than off Smash DLC than Bayonetta. That's just what I think.
As a huge Bayonetta fan, even I have to admit, yeah, Sora is just more recognizable as a character compared to Bayonetta.
I love her. I love Bayonetta too.
Yeah, Bayonetta 2 is like one of my favorite games of all time, and I also love 1 and 3.
Yeah, I like her.
I do have Bayonetta 1, in which I have Mark to thank for that, by the way. But I do have Bayonetta 1. I have yet to beat it, but of what little I played of the game, it was kind of fun. A little I played out of it, but of course I'm gonna have to get back into it one of these days. But Bayonetta, I mean, it kind of reminds me of Devil May Cry a little bit.
Yeah, it was intended to be the spiritual successor, sort of, I think.
Yeah.
Like, they are very similar games. And I love both DMC and Bayo, so...
Good job.
I'm very excited for 5 and 2.
GG's. Alright, well, like I said, I think this next match is probably going to be the last one of the video here. But it has been a lot of fun, though. I've really enjoyed doing this a lot. It's just, like I said, Smash is always a fun game to do.
Yeah, for sure. And what better way to end off the video than the 2 IRL friends duking it out?
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong on that, Graham, because it's great in real life friends that you have come to know. This is a good fitting way to end things off. I will agree with that.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Before we have some kind of connection.
Sorry, what was that?
I said in before we have some kind of error.
Oh no! Please don't jinx it now.
Don't speak that into existence, Theo.
Yeah, so far so good though. So let's hope.
It was just already bad enough right here for what we all had to go through. But speaking of in real life friends, I really do miss the ones that I was previously living with at my older place that I used to live at before I made a move to my current place of where I am at now ever since late 2024.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that, but unfortunately, it's also just part of life too. Unfortunately, you don't always have the friends you grew up with forever.
Yeah.
Well, everyone has no friends in real life. Even I have to agree with that.
But at least so right now, for where I do live, even though my neighbors are mainly known for being older compared to me, they still have had some good moments with me, and I have been becoming good friends with a good amount of them right now, which is nice to see.
That's nice.
Oh, I was trying to combo that into the final smash, but okay.
I mean, hey, I respect the effort.
Yeah, that's something Terry can do. He can do KOF stuff, where it's you can combo a lot of his moves into the final smash. It's legitimately very fascinating to watch. If I can land it.
Oh, well, that's assuming Nick doesn't steal it.
Well, yeah, but even still, he's been getting it back every time, so I don't exactly have a lot of hope.
Well, so much for that, because it's back all the way.
Yep.
Oh, well, that's fine.
Alright, I got him down to 1 stock at least, so I'll take that even if I lose.
Yeah, this is fair enough for what you could at least hope for.
Alright, well, GG's.
GG, that was good.
Nick and GG's everybody.
Yep.
GG.
Yep. Like I said, even though I didn't win a single match in this video, it was still a lot of fun for sure. Smash is always, like I said, just a really good game to play.
Yeah, for sure.
Smash and Mario Party are
It really is.
Yeah, anytime when you just get around to Smash, you can't go wrong with that.
For sure. Alright, so with that, I'll go ahead and
Mario Party.
leave this arena here. And yeah, so thank you guys all so much for playing with me. Like I said, that was an absolute blast.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yep. Like I said, this is always one of my favorite games to do for these specials, and like I said, it's always just great to have you guys available for it. So thank you guys all so much, and of course, thank you, Slayer, even just for joining in the VC.
Yeah, of course.
Yep. So yeah, that's gonna do it, guys, for this segment. Like I said, this will be the last multiplayer one.